So mostly center this spring for you?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going smooth. Just getting consistent with my snaps and stuff like that. I ain't never really played with a ball in my hand, so just getting used to that. I've been able to, control the traffic with light up front and stuff like that. Just, getting a lot of experience last year, just knowing the plays and stuff like that. It's my third year in the system. I should know everything now, so I just try to teach the younger guys the ways and stuff like that. So.
With Tate now a tight end, Connor not out there, you get a ton of reps. How valuable is that for you this spring?
It's very valuable, especially for the next level purposes, especially when coach come in. And me and Coach Thornton talked about that a lot in the offseason. Just not going through spring, just playing only guard, getting a lot of more reps at center because he knows I can play guard. Just to, get used to there. And then if we ever get in a pinch, I'll always be that guy. I can step in anywhere and be that man.
What does it mean for you guys to have everybody that you have coming back on the offensive line, especially for a group where, chemistry seems more important than a lot of other
Yeah, I'll say our chemistry is, crazy because we was literally talking about this the other day. We haven't faced adversity yet in our O-line room, in a practice. And I feel like we're very talented up front. We're very deep, and I feel like we got a lot of guys that are willing to come in and work every day. And it's a different feeling in the room. The best feeling I felt in the O-line room in the past 3 years, and I feel like Coach Thornton is more comfortable over this O-line. Just having a lot of guys with a lot of experience. I think we're one of the most experienced O-lines in the country, so I feel like that's a big part in our success.
How valuable was last year for you, as a younger guy, being able to work your way into a starting spot and, holding that role for a lot of the season?
Yes, sir. I feel like that was one of my main goals. I feel like me being on the bench my first year just struck a nerve in me. I feel like I had to go push extra work every day to be where I was last year, and I feel like at the end, I feel like, it was great, and it was just a great feeling just to be out there playing and stuff like that.
What did you learn about yourself last year once you got in there and got a taste of it?
When I got in there, I felt like there was nobody that can stop me because, even people talk about my height a lot. I don't feel like that's a disadvantage for me at all because the way I play is just, as I grow in the game now, my confidence has just gotten bigger. I wouldn't call it cocky. It just, I just feel like I can play in this league, and I feel like it gave me a big confidence booster going into this year.
We've heard a lot, from Freeze about where this team is at, this spring as opposed to maybe some previous teams at this point in the spring practice. He feels like they're a little bit ahead. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, on both sides of the ball, we're all bought into what Coach Freeze has wanted us to be, and that's expectant of what we should be this year. I feel like we have a lot of guys that can make plays for us, and I feel like we're one of the best teams in the country already, just the way our preparation is and the way Coach Don has us coming every day to work, and just, the leadership that we have on the team is the key too.
The walkthroughs, the mental work, all the things y'all did leading up to the spring, how important has that been?
It's very important. I feel like the way college football is today is the way it should be. I feel like, the walkthroughs and stuff, that help us, sitting in the meeting room, just looking at the film all day, doesn't help us. Getting out there and, getting our hand, just playing through it, I feel like that's a valuable piece of it. And, just keeping us healthy, everybody learning how to practice nowadays, and we're just all, I would say we all are professionals.
What have you seen out of the quarterbacks specifically this spring?
I feel like they're very talented. Jackson and Deuce they're two guys that can play anywhere in this country, and I feel like their relationship has grew. And I feel like Jackson helping Deuce with the experience he has. I feel like Deuce will be one of the best in the country when it comes to it.
What about Tate at tight end?
We talk about it. Tate's I feel like he's the guy we needed at tight end to come in and block for us and stuff like that. I feel like he's a 6'0" lineman, we would call him, and I feel like that's a disadvantage is that teams that he knows where the aiming points or the block and stuff like that. I just feel like that's a big part of it.
What to have a guy like that go, hey, I'm gonna make a move because it makes the team better. What does that say to guys on this team?
That's what it says for the year 2025. Like how we were just saying, the leadership and stuff like that. Tate is one of the leaders on our coach council, and I feel like he's always been a leader for us. And that's a major step to move from something you've been playing for the past 4 or 5 years to go play tight end for your last year of college football. That's a big sacrifice. But I feel like for this university, he'll do it because he loves Auburn. People just love Auburn.
What about anybody that has jumped out to you this spring, newcomer or any of the guys that you think made a really big impact?
young Sam, the wide receiver, Sam Turner. I feel like he's gonna be a hell of a ball player if he keeps his head on straight, keep on working every day. I feel like he's the one that's stuck out the most to me on offense, and I feel like on defense, I feel like Anquan Fagans and Jordan Crawford are probably the two that struck them. Jordan Crawford's a lot better.
Jordan struck you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like those two are like stood out on the defensive side too. So I feel like those guys are going to be first-year players.
Jordan, does he remind you a little bit of yourself? People are like, maybe he's not too tall, but then when he plays,
he's good. You know, me and Jordan, I've known Jordan since freshman year. We trained together in Birmingham, stuff like that. So just growing up with him and getting to play against him now, it just, just get him better too. Because going against guys like us, that's only gonna make him better. And I feel like once he learns what he needs to do and stuff like that, I feel like he'll be unstoppable.
You feel like he's a guy that's going to help you guys in year one?
Yes, sir. I feel like he is the key piece in the middle of the defensive line that we will need this year to stop the run.
Bradyn, you talked to Coach Thornton last week, and he could not stop praising your leadership, even just as a guy going into year 3. I mean, is that something you take a lot of pride in?
Yes, sir. Of course. I feel like that's always been where I've been in high school. Like ever since I was always younger, but I always was one of the best players on the team. I feel like nowadays that the best players are leaders, but I feel like my leadership has came from the guys that came before me, like Gunnar Britton and Cam Studs, just to know how to take over the room. And I feel like me and Connor have made a huge impact on the O-line, especially in our leadership.